In the vast, interconnected expanse of the Internet, legends are born, whispered through forums and forgotten archives. One such legend speaks of an entity, an anonymous account known only as Oracle_2049, which, according to a growing online community, possessed an impossible foresight. This account, active on various obscure message boards and dark web forums, began to post cryptic messages, seemingly disconnected from current events, yet uncannily relevant to future global disasters. Was this merely a statistical anomaly, a product of collective delusion, or something far more profound? Our investigation begins in the digital shadows. The earliest verifiable posts attributed to Oracle_2049 date back to late 2017, appearing on a niche forum called Deep Web Echoes, a site now defunct but partially archived by independent digital preservationists. These initial messages were largely ignored, dismissed as speculative ramblings or abstract poetry. Forum user archivist_bot, known for diligently scraping and storing content, inadvertently captured these nascent predictions. According to archivist_bot's logs, the posts were often brief, lacking specific dates or locations, yet possessing an ominous tone that would later become its chilling signature. The turning point, according to online communities, Truth_Seeker_Collective, came in early 2018. Oracle_2049 posted a message containing phrases like shaking ground, distant tremor, market cracks. Days later, a significant earthquake struck a seismically active region, causing considerable market instability in global indices. Skeptics, initially, pointed to the vagueness of the language, arguing that such a phrase could apply to countless events. However, a user named @timestamp_hunter on Reddit's predictive analysis forum cross-referenced the post's archived timestamp against news reports, noting the proximity. Despite the eerie congruence, initial reactions were largely dismissive. Many online commentators attributed the connection to post hoc rationalization, the tendency to interpret vague statements as accurate after an event has occurred. Dr. Anya Sharma, a cognitive psychologist specializing in pattern recognition, explains, the human mind excels at finding patterns, even where none exist. A sufficiently ambiguous statement can be retroactively fitted to almost anything. Forum discussions from that period show robust debate, with many users arguing for pure coincidence, pointing out that geological events and market fluctuations are common occurrences. The credibility of Oracle_2049 hinged crucially on verifiable timestamps. Independent digital forensics expert, Mr. Zero, an anonymous figure known for verifying controversial online content, was among the first to examine the metadata. Mr. Zero stated in a private communication, the archives, while sometimes fragmented, consistently show original post dates predating the events. There's no evidence of backdating or manipulation of the archived logs themselves. This technical verification began to chip away at the initial skepticism, offering a tangible piece of evidence for those who sought it. Several months later, Oracle_2049 resurfaced, this time on a different, more obscure decentralized social network, posting a sequence of numbers and symbols. Within weeks, a critical zero-day vulnerability was discovered and exploited in a widely used operating system, leading to a significant global cyber attack. Online investigators, specifically a collective known as a Project Vigilant, later correlated these symbols to elements of the exploit's code. This was more difficult to dismiss than the previous prediction, due to the technical specifics that only became apparent after the event. The correlation was striking, albeit circumstantial. The increasing accuracy and specificity of Oracle_2049's posts began to generate genuine unease. The online community of Project Vigilant meticulously documented each post and corresponding event, creating a public database. Their forum moderator, Cybernomad, observed, it shifted from a curiosity to something truly unsettling. The statistical likelihood of these correlations, especially with the zero-day exploit, seemed to defy pure chance. This growing sentiment marked a transition from casual internet chatter to a serious, albeit grassroots, investigation. The phenomenon was gaining momentum, drawing more eyes into the digital rabbit hole. With each successive prediction, the legend of Oracle_2049 permeated deeper into the internet subcultures. Dedicated subreddits, Discord servers, and encrypted chat groups formed solely to discuss and dissect the account's every utterance. Believers and skeptics clashed, each side presenting evidence and counter-evidence. This intense scrutiny created a massive, distributed citizen investigation, with thousands attempting to decode the cryptic messages, analyze posting patterns, and even trace the user's digital footsteps. The phenomenon became a social experiment in collective interpretation and digital sleuthing. As the evidence mounted, various theories emerged to explain Oracle_2049's uncanny abilities. The coincidence camp maintained that the vagueness allowed for retrospective fitting, arguing that with enough posts, some were bound to align. The insider information theory suggested Oracle_2049 was a whistleblower, privy to highly classified knowledge. A more radical AI hypothesis posited the account was run by an advanced predictive algorithm. Each theory had its proponents and detractors, debated fiercely across countless online threads, reflecting the human desire to rationalize the inexplicable. The natural next step for the online detectives was to unmask Oracle_2049. Attempts were made to trace IP addresses, analyze digital fingerprints, and identify unique linguistic patterns. These efforts, coordinated across multiple forums, consistently hit dead ends. Digital Ghost Hunters, a group dedicated to identifying anonymous internet entities, reported Oracle_2049 used sophisticated anonymization techniques, switching VPNs, Tor exit nodes, and even virtual machines regularly. It was like chasing smoke. Every digital breadcrumb seemed to lead to a cul-de-sac, frustrating those who sought definitive answers. The scarcity of digital footprints was a significant factor in fueling the mystique. Most online accounts, even those employing privacy measures, leave some trace, a consistent time of posting, a preferred device, or a unique phrasing style. Oracle_2049, however, exhibited none of these consistent markers. Posts appeared at erratic hours, from different geographic locations, and with varying linguistic nuances. This suggested either an individual highly skilled in operational security or multiple individuals collaborating, or even an automated system designed to randomize its behavior. The absence of data became a data point in itself. We spoke with Dr. Aries Thorne, a cybersecurity expert specializing in digital anonymity, about the feasibility of maintaining such a low profile. It's incredibly difficult to remain truly anonymous online for an extended period, especially when under intense scrutiny, Dr. Thorne explains. One mistake, one lapse in OPSEC, and you're exposed. The fact that Oracle_2049 evaded identification for years points either to an extremely sophisticated operator, potentially state-sponsored, or a vast network of individuals. This professional assessment further elevated the stakes, moving beyond a simple internet prank to something potentially much larger. The most widely cited and debated prediction attributed to Oracle_2049 concerned a major geopolitical shift that occurred in late 2019. Months prior, the account posted a series of abstract images and a single phrase, "Lines redrawn, old maps burn." When a border dispute escalated into an international crisis, fundamentally altering alliances and territorial claims, the phrase resonated with shocking clarity. The Oracle_Watch community on a lesser-known platform, Infonode, declared this prediction undeniable, despite its abstract nature, given the profound global impact and timing. Among the most dedicated chroniclers of Oracle_2049's activity was a user known as a WhisperNet. A self-proclaimed digital archaeologist, WhisperNet meticulously compiled all known posts, cross-referencing them with global events, and creating an extensive public database. It felt like reading tomorrow's newspaper, but in a language I barely understood, WhisperNet wrote in a widely shared post. The feeling of dread, then awe, was overwhelming. This personal testimony highlighted the profound psychological impact Oracle_2049 had on its followers, transforming mere observation into a deep, personal connection. As more predictions seemed to materialize, the community attempted to discern a pattern. Were there specific types of events Oracle_2049 focused on? An analysis by a Project Vigilant indicated a preference for large-scale systemic events, geological disasters, economic shocks, and geopolitical shifts, rather than individual incidents. They also noted a recurring theme of unforeseen consequences or hidden variables in the phrasing. This suggested a worldview focused on deep systemic vulnerabilities, implying a source with an understanding of complex global interdependencies, not just random future events. Despite the growing chorus of believers, skepticism remained a powerful counter-narrative. Dr. Robert Clark, a statistician, argued vehemently against the predictive power of Oracle_2049. Given the sheer volume of online discourse, and the general vagueness of many posts, it's inevitable some will appear to correlate with future events, he stated in an online debate. This is classic confirmation bias, remembering the hits and forgetting the misses. If you throw enough darts, one is bound to land on the bullseye eventually. His perspective highlighted the statistical pitfalls of interpreting subjective data. Crucially, not all of Oracle_2049's posts were clear-cut. Many were highly abstract, metaphorical, or contained what some critics called a poetic filler. For example, a post reading "The Silver Serpent awakens in the Golden Cage" was never definitively linked to any major event. Believers argued these were either predictions of events yet to occur, or simply not understood. Skeptics, conversely, pointed to these as proof of the account's inherent ambiguity, designed to be reinterpreted. The lack of precise, undeniable predictions provided ammunition for both sides of the debate, sustaining the mystery. A common critique leveled against the Oracle_2049 phenomenon was the concept of the retrospective fitting. This argument posits that after an event occurs, online communities would then comb through Oracle_2049's past posts, finding any phrase or image that could be loosely interpreted as a prediction. The meaning is imposed after the fact, not inherent in the original message, explained Maya Chen, a moderator of several skepticism-focused forums. This process, she argued, created an illusion of prescience where none truly existed, fueled by groupthink and a collective desire for a compelling narrative. To further challenge the narrative, skeptics often highlighted what they termed failed predictions. These were posts that, despite significant community effort, could not be plausibly linked to any subsequent major event. For instance, a post mentioning tidal wave of glass never manifested as a literal disaster. Believers countered that these could be metaphors for non-physical events, or perhaps events that were averted, or simply misinterpreted. However, the sheer existence of these unlinked posts provided a critical counterpoint to the claims of flawless prescience, making the overall picture far less clear-cut. Beyond the technicalities, the Oracle_2049 phenomenon deeply engaged the human psyche. Why do people gravitate toward such mysteries? Dr. Sharma suggests, in times of uncertainty, humans seek patterns, order, and meaning. A figure like Oracle_2049 offers a sense of control, a narrative that explains chaotic events, even if that explanation is an anonymous prophet. The belief in a hidden order, or an individual with privileged knowledge, provides comfort in a world often perceived as unpredictable. This psychological aspect underscores the enduring appeal of the enigma, irrespective of empirical proof. The obsession with Oracle_2049 grew to extraordinary levels. Some online communities treated every new post as a sacred text, poring over every symbol and phrase. Project Vigilant even developed AI-driven text analysis tools to search for hidden meanings or linguistic tells. This collective obsession demonstrated the Internet's unique capacity to foster intense, distributed investigations, sometimes bordering on fixation. The quest for truth transformed into a full-blown digital religion for some, with Oracle_2049 becoming a modern oracle in the truest sense of the word. The drive to identify Oracle_2049 intensified with the growing prominence of the predictions. Bounties were privately offered within some online circles, and doxing attempts, though widely condemned, became more frequent. Cybercriminals and ethical hackers alike attempted to breach the anonymity. Yet, Oracle_2049 remained elusive. This inability to unmask the user only added to the mystique, fostering theories that the entity was not a single person, but perhaps a sophisticated collective, or even a non-human intelligence. The digital pursuit became a cat-and-mouse game with no visible cat or mouse. The AI hypothesis gained traction among the more technologically inclined. Could an advanced algorithm, capable of processing vast amounts of data, social media trends, financial markets, geopolitical intelligence, be generating these predictions? Dr. Thorne commented, while AI is increasingly sophisticated at pattern recognition, true foresight, particularly of novel events, remains beyond our current capabilities. However, a highly advanced predictive model, fed with secret intelligence, could potentially simulate such abilities. This theory allowed for a rational, albeit futuristic, explanation, moving away from the supernatural. Another persistent theory was that Oracle_2049 possessed insider information. This could range from a high-level whistleblower to a coordinated group with access to classified intelligence. The specificity of some predictions, particularly concerning market movements or geopolitical maneuvers, lent credence to this idea. The deep state narratives often latch onto figures like Oracle_2049, observed Maya Chen. It fits into a broader worldview where powerful, hidden actors control events. This theory suggested a very human, albeit shadowy, origin for the predictions, rather than something truly supernatural or algorithmic. Perhaps the most cynical theory was that Oracle_2049 was a deliberate manipulation, an elaborate hoax designed to sow chaos, test predictive models, or even influence events. Could the posts themselves have been self-fulfilling prophecies, subtly guiding public sentiment or market reactions? A few researchers suggested a stochastic terrorism angle, where vague predictions inspire real-world actions. This theory implies a malevolent, highly intelligent actor or group, using the internet as a vast psychological weapon. The uncertainty surrounding its true nature made this possibility all the more unsettling. The cybersecurity community, while initially dismissive, eventually took notice. The sophisticated anonymization techniques employed by Oracle_2049 impressed even seasoned experts. The level of operational security required to evade detection for years, across multiple platforms, is truly exceptional, noted a Dr. Elena Petrova, a dark web investigator. It suggests resources beyond the average individual hacker. We're talking about state-level capability or a highly dedicated, well-funded group. This elevated the potential origins of Oracle_2049 from a lone genius to a more organized and powerful entity, adding another layer of complexity. Rumors persisted that Oracle_2049 had deep ties to the dark web, not just as a posting platform, but as a source of information. Some theorized the account was linked to illicit intelligence networks or clandestine data brokers. The digital ghost hunters reported encountering encrypted messages on hidden forums that referenced Oracle_2049 as a messenger. This shadowy connection, though unverified, further blurred the lines between conspiracy theory and potential reality, painting a picture of an entity operating far beyond the reach of conventional internet surveillance. In mid-2022, after a period of heightened activity and several more hits, Oracle_2049 posted what would become its final, most cryptic message. It consisted of a single image, a stylized hourglass with sand perpetually falling upwards, and the words, "The loop closes. Seek within." After this post, the account went completely silent. No new messages appeared on any known platform. Attempts to contact or trace the account yielded nothing. It was as if Oracle_2049 had simply vanished, leaving behind a profound digital void and a trail of unanswered questions. The sudden silence of Oracle_2049 plunged its followers into a state of disbelief and frustration. Many interpreted the final message as another prediction, a loop closing, perhaps hinting at a cyclical nature of events, or a personal end for the anonymous prophet. Others saw it as a symbolic mic drop, the ultimate exit after achieving cult status. The online communities, once buzzing with new analyses, became repositories of speculation and mournful reflection. The active chase for answers turned into a poignant contemplation of what was lost. Years after its disappearance, the mystery of Oracle_2049 endures. No definitive identity has ever been established. No insider has come forward to claim responsibility. No AI has been definitively linked to the account. The phenomenon remains an enigma, a testament to the Internet's capacity to host profound, unsettling narratives that defy conventional explanation. Was it a single genius, a collective, a sophisticated algorithm, or just a series of incredibly lucky guesses fueled by confirmation bias? The Internet has offered no consensus, only continued debate. The legacy of Oracle_2049 is complex. For believers, it stands as proof of something beyond our current understanding, a glimpse into a hidden order of the universe or the profound implications of advanced intelligence. For skeptics, it serves as a powerful cautionary tale about the dangers of confirmation bias and the human tendency to seek meaning in random data. Regardless of perspective, Oracle_2049 has carved its place in Internet lore, a digital ghost that continues to haunt the collective consciousness, challenging our perceptions of reality and the limits of knowledge. Ultimately, the enduring appeal of Oracle_2049 might lie in the fundamental human desire for order in a chaotic world. When faced with unpredictable events, the idea that someone, or something, might foresee them, offers a psychological balm. It suggests that even in the face of global turmoil, there might be a pattern, a script being followed, however cryptic. This inherent human need to find meaning and predictability allows legends like Oracle_2049 to flourish, providing a narrative framework for understanding the incomprehensible. Consider, for a moment, the implications if Oracle_2049 truly possessed predictive capabilities, whether through an advanced algorithm or genuine foresight. What would that mean for free will, for decision-making, for the very fabric of society? The existence of such an entity would force a radical re-evaluation of our understanding of time, causality, and the nature of information. The Internet, designed to connect and inform, inadvertently became the stage for a phenomenon that challenges the very foundations of what we believe to be possible, making the anonymity of Oracle_2049 both frustrating and, perhaps, necessary. As our investigation concludes, Oracle_2049 remains shrouded in mystery. Who was behind the account? How did they manage to evade detection? Were the predictions genuine, an elaborate hoax, or a confluence of luck and human psychology? These questions linger, echoing in the digital spaces where Oracle_2049 once spoke. The Internet, a mirror reflecting our deepest fears and greatest curiosities, continues to hold this secret close. And perhaps, that's precisely where it's meant to stay, an enduring enigma, a testament to the unknown forces at play in our interconnected world.